Here we go. It's going to be a bit of a rematch. Unfortunately, we are denied the ZVZ Grand Finals. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. It would have been great to have seen a different matchup. Because we've had nothing but ZVPs today, and I guess that is just how it is meant to be. As we are diving into our Grand Finals, I'm just setting up the predictions here for the best of 5. Place your bets, people. From hearing this message, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to place your bets on who will be today's champion. There we go. And speaking of today's champion, we have a contender. A player who is already up 1-0 in this best of 5 Grand Finals due to the fact that he has not lost a single series today. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, we have the Peruvian Zerg. It is Ryu. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Brazilian Protoss. Just took down his compatriot, just took down the Zerg Lord, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Shakti. Finding success with this kind of like bully style with Stalkers and Colossus, but here in the Grand Finals he is spicing things up. He knows that his opponent is cut from a different cloth. He is a bit of a stronger player, so he goes for a Gate Forge opener. He's going for the cannons. So if you're wondering, this isn't a Forge first. What does that mean? That means that he doesn't intend to commit to this cannon rush. The cannons, their purpose is only to cancel the natural. It is not to siege up and go all in and to proxy and to push into the main base. No. It is more of kind of like a like a macro cannon rush. And there we go. Forces a cancels the rest of his pylons, only needs a single cannon and forces the hatchery here. And oh, my mistake. He is committing with this. So he threw down the Cybercore very early on back at home, and I assumed that he was going to get ready to expand. But no, he throws down a Robo in the face of Ryu, so he is committing to this. He is going to be going all in. If you remember, the Zerg Lord knows the potential of this happening from Shakti. That is why in that series he took the cannon rush, the threat of a cannon rush, very seriously. And we'll see how Ryu deals with this. Again, early aggression, I feel, is the way to go against Ryu. You don't want to go into a late game. You don't want to go into even the mid game, depending on how things go. So here we go. Immortal is on the way. No gateways across the map. I think that's important to take note of. It is just Immortal, shield batteries, and cannons. Meanwhile, Ryu did get his natural up and running. It is just about to finish up. Adeptus is going to scout this at least. So it will be a little bit annoying. Oh my god, but the positioning. These Ravagers, honestly, they're doing quite well here. Already taking down one of the shield batteries. Taking some damage. We have our queens. They don't have enough energy for transfuse. Not yet. Oof. And the Immortal taking some decent damage. You have another volley. Takes out the War Prism. War Prism what? Takes out the shield battery. Look, War Prism, shield battery, Protoss units. So, what do you want from me? But so far, the micro's been pretty good. Ryu hasn't lost anything yet, but maybe I spoke too soon because one Ravager finally goes down. Oh my god, and the Queen as well. Queen does fall. Shakti, he's finding some ground here. And this is getting a little bit worrisome. There's only one Queen left. The Queen. Oh, Queen, please. Calm down. Oh god, the Queen is gonna get sniped! Oh, uno más! Oh, just barely survives. Lair finishes up. What is the plan here for Ryu? Does he want to go into a Nidus? I mean, he did rush out his lair. Ooh. Oh, the Lings were taken out by his own vials. things are not looking good here, especially with 2 of these immortals. Only 1 queen for anti-air. Like, he can't really punish the War Prism. And there's the Nidus. It feels like the Nidus was a little bit delayed though. Oh my god, damage is being dealt. Whole damage is being dealt to the immortal. But again, so far Shakti has done an amazing job at keeping them alive. Now we have 3 immortals, and with 3 immortals, like, this could be it. He's pushing in. Oh god, here we go. Finally, we do have a second queen, and he's trying to focus down the War Prism. Oh god, but the shield battery keeps it alive. Oh god, the queens. Oh, he wants them, and he will get 1. Oh my god, almost gets the second. Nidus is on the way, by the way. Interesting position on the Nidus. I don't really know what the plan is there. Sorry, the sporting pool does go down. He's gonna get a hatchery. He will try and get a hatchery. He's gonna try and evacuate. He's giving up the main. The problem is that if you do this, like, usually you try and do this earlier. G gets called. Shakti ties up the series 1-1. GG. Like, I've seen the War Prism play to just, again, like, evacuate like that, but yeah, I don't know. Feels rough. GG. And this is kind of what I expect from this series. Like, I expect to see some hyper aggression from Shakti, and he needed to do something like that, especially because Ryu does start with an advantage in this series. So it's like, all right, man, I gotta find a way to quickly close that gap. Oh. Are we gonna see that again this series? I doubt it. We'll see. We'll see. Quite an explosive way to start the finals. Oh boy. Meanwhile, as we load in, I am going to quickly go and get some water because my throat is dry and I have run out. Oh. Alright, here we go. I've returned, I've got my water, and we are ready for game number 2. In this best of 5 grand finals for Sentimiento Latino number 121. The final Sentimiento Latino of the entire year. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pride of Altaris LE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Pride of Altaris, we have the Brazilian Protoss representing Eximius Gaming and tying up the series with a cheeky cat. He's going for it, he's doing it again! It is Shakti. Now I want to keep an eye on the Cybercore timing here. Because again, going for a Gate Forge, I was talking about it. Oh, as he cancels the Forge and he throws down a Nexus. Interesting. So he scattered with his probe. He confirmed the opener, which I believe and yeah, he decided against going for the Forge. My god. I apologize. I wasn't here earlier, so I'm not too sure if it was a hatch gas pool. It looks to be the case that it was a hatch gas pool. Yep, there we go. Queens are on the way. Don't have any early things. But yeah, wow, okay. We're going into a more standard game. Oh boy. Are we gonna see a Forge first again, like, or a Forge opener at some point again this series? I wonder. Oh. As we're back on Pride of Altaris, and I'm also curious about the last series. So I'm pretty sure that Ryu was watching. I'm pretty sure that Ryu was there, tuning in to the Zerglord versus Shakti, and watching how that series transpired. And I wonder if he's going to approach his defense a little bit differently. What I mean by that is that the Oracles from Shakti rarely dealt any damage against the Zerglord. The Zerglord took the Oracle openers very seriously, and he was always at home defending. He was always splitting up his queens and had them where he needed them to be. Ryu was a little bit more lax with it, and as a result, like, he lost a lot. He lost a lot of drones against that harass. But because he watched that series, I have to wonder if now he's going to adapt his style a little bit and learn from the Zerglord versus Shakti. Oh, as Adepts do shade into the main base, but oh, they do get past the Lings. Lings were trying to body block them earlier, and 3 drones already go down. 4 in total, 4-4-2 Adepts. We've seen that before. So again, a very nice start from Shakti. He also gets into Scout in case there is a fast lair, in case additional gases are being taken. It isn't the most likely of things, but it's always possible, so it's always nice to be safe and secure in what you're scouting. Meanwhile, something that we didn't see at all last series, Shakti opens up with a Void Ray. Again, I love that Shakti is playing this differently. Unfortunately for Shakti, Lings show up here to the 3rd base. The Adepts, the additional Adepts were sent across the maps. They are not here to defend, and the 3rd base is denied. Oof. Shakti being punished for how aggressive he was with his Adepts earlier. And that's a great way for Ryu to get back into this. Meanwhile, Ryu, his initial Overlord was sniped and taken out, but that means that Shakti, he's free to throw down hidden tech. He throws down not just a Robo, but also a Twilight Council and a Forge. So there are a couple of different routes that he can take. He does have all of his gases, so I imagine he wants to go into Blink Stalkers. I feel like that's probably what Shakti is most comfortable with, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this Twilight Council. Meanwhile, 3rd base is on the way. Sorry, 3rd base is already up and running. It's getting fully saturated. Lair is on the way, is what I meant to say. We do, of course, have our Evo Chamber as well as Roach Warrens. So Ryu is getting into his Roach Ravager Ling to begin with. But we know that Ryu is the kind of player who wants to get into Hydras. Like, that's kind of his bread and butter, more often than not. I remember in 2019, 2020, he was known as the Lurker King for a long time. We kind of dubbed him as the Lurker King. He would go for it in every single matchup. And now that his lair is done, I'm keeping an eye on that production tab. We do have Roach Speed on the way, but are we going to see a Hydra then? Meanwhile, Void Ray finds... Oh, no! Void Ray finds some damage. He accidentally doubled back for a moment there and took some hull damage. Gave me a heart attack. Wait, calm down, buddy, okay? Void Ray's lives matter. Stay alive. And, oh, we actually don't have a Hydrogen. We have Dropper Lords. Pneumatize Overlord Speed is done. We have Pneumatize Carapace. Like, Ryu gonna be cheeky with some drops. Meanwhile, he goes in with his Overseer. He is going to confirm the tech. If he goes to the right, he will see the Gateway Explosion at it, and it is going to be +1 Blink Stalkers. Again, this is a composition that works very well against Roach Ravager, as we have seen in the past. And yeah, he wants to go into Colossus as well. This is Shakti's bread and butter. Meanwhile, the Overlords, the Dropper Lords are not filled up. Oh, do we have a Bailey Nest? We do not. I was like, are we gonna see some Bane drops? Unfortunately not. It looks like a Ling drop headed into the main base. Meanwhile, Shakti is pushing out across the map. Ryu, we need something here to defend. We have some Roaches and some Ravagers, but Ryu needs a little bit more time for his reinforcements. 18 Lings are on the way. The Dropper Lords are headed towards the base. a single roach in there, because why not? Ooh. Shakti has to be careful with his pathing. His army does get split up for a moment, but the Dropper Lords are coming into the natural. And Shakti is forced all the way back. He recalls back home. Oh my god. These Dropper Lords doing so much despite there not being too much firepower in them. Like it wasn't a Roach drop, it wasn't a Bane drop, it was a Ling drop of all things, and it forces Shakti all the way back home, and it allows Ryu to tech up. Hydra Den is done. Not just that, he is going for a very fast hive. Infestation Pit was thrown down earlier. Lurker Den is on the way. This is the difference between Ryu and the Zerg Lord. The Zerg Lord, he thrives off of Lair Tech, off of Ling Bane Roach Ravager. He stays on it for a long time. Ryu, he techs up. He wants to get into something better. But that also means that he's vulnerable right now. He just spent a bunch of resources on tech, on Infestation Pit, on upgrades, on a hive, when he needs army right now. Here we go, Shakti's pushing out, he's trying to hit his timing. +1 is done, +2 is almost done. Needs a little bit more time. He's trying to force his way towards his gold base. Meanwhile, we have plenty of Queens, Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras are on the way. And Shakti is really having a hard time breaking through. So far, the control from Ryu has been insane. He's getting a 5th base behind this as well. Shakti, he's got to make something happen now. And I feel like he knows that. Here we go. Viper is on the way. Ryu was what he 100% he was watching last series. He's like, mate, Vipers are all you need against Colossus. 1-2 yoinks. Oh, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Lurkers are on the way as well. Again, Ryu cut a lot of corners to take up this quickly, but as long as it comes out, it's worked out. He's paid for itself. Here we go. Lurkers are done. Vipers are gathering energy. Does he see this? At the moment, Shakti does not. But the Lurkers do reveal themselves. Shakti, force back, mate. You gotta take a 4th. You gotta take another base. Like, staying on 3 bases like this kind of forces him all in. And to be fair, Shakti has been able to find success with it. Oh, Lurkers are exposed. Yo, 1 Lurker goes down immediately. 2nd Lurker goes down as well. Ryu a little bit out of position there. We do have a yoink though. 1 Colossus goes down, but we have a blink on forward. Shakti, he's gonna try and do it again. Can he do it? Oh my god. This style of play, it's crazy, but he can't. The Lurkers are done. Does he have detection? Oh, he does. He does have detection. Can he force his way through the Lurkers? It looks like he just barely will. GG gets called. Shakti takes the next game. Oh my god. That's not the first time we've seen that from Ryu, where his 2 Lurkers at the very start of that fight was so exposed, and those 2 Lurkers going down for free was huge. Oh my god. GG. Shakti's just built different, mate. Who needs a 4th base? Blink, Stalkers, and Colossus. That's all you need, mate. That's all you need. Oh. I accidentally left the lobby. Okay, we're good, we're good. Ooh. Now we're diving into the next game. Shakti only needs 1 more win to move on to be our champion. Ryu needs 1 more win to force the ace match. Ooh. I love how Ryu was approaching that game. I would argue, I think he went I almost want to say he went too far. He went a little bit too far. As in, he went for Vipers and Lurkers. When I would argue maybe you want to go for one of them if you're cutting corners and if your opponent is being that aggressive. Like I was talking about the Zerg Lord earlier, like Ling Bane, Roach Ravager, Viper could be enough, right? Whereas Ryu, I feel like he wanted a little bit too much there. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Speaking of, spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings. We have our Peruvian Zerg, currently down in this series. One more loss, and he is done. It is Ryu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have our Brazilian Protoss player, currently leading this series 2-1, only needs one more win to become our champion. Representing Eximius Gaming, it is Shakti. Again, if the game had gone on longer, if we had more lurkers, if we had more vipers, Shakti would have been dead. There would have been no way for him to break his opponent. Once again, he's opening up with a Forge, by the way. Oh my god, he's just so aggressive. Cancels the Forge, goes for the Nexus. He was thinking about it, but because his probe is being followed, because Ryu is that much more attentive of this probe, Shakti, he gives up on it. May even try to fake it, but as we can see, it would be a fake. And yeah, the game will go on. Now, what I have to say is that, again, it did come down to the map. Pride of Altaris, Ryu did take the forward gold base, which was exposed. There's no high ground advantage. There's no advantage at all. It's a really awkward place to fight. And that is why Shakti was able to really press his advantage there and force the engagements. What I have to say is that 2000 Atmospheres is Ryu's map to take. It's the most standard map we've had so far this series. You can very easily get up to 3 bases. You can get a 4th up and running as well. You could argue it's a little bit large, so because of that you can be spread thin, but there's a lot of choke points to take advantage of. Like, if Shakti is gonna go for that same style, I'm gonna be stunned if he pulls it off on this map. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be absolutely floored, mate. It's gonna be insane. If he goes Blink Stalker Colossus again and makes it work on 2000 Atmospheres, like, mate, there's no way. There's no way, right? We'll see. What I'm alluding to is that I feel like Shakti should do something else on this map. He has a little bit of room to be a little bit creative if he wants to. You know, he does have a 1-map lead. Obviously, you don't want to throw away your lead, but going for the same thing again, may not be the best choice as he doesn't commit to the shade. Oh god, he's gonna get drones. How many? At least 3, maybe 4. Ooh, nice movement though, but in the end he will get 4 drones once again, just like game 1. 2 Adepts get 4 drones. Lings are going to be rushing across the map to deny a 3rd base if there is one, but if Shakti has learned anything from the last game, he shouldn't be getting a 3rd base at the moment. Would be just a little bit too greedy. As Lings show up, and there's nothing there. Meanwhile, Oracle goes across the map. What do we have at home to defend? The Spore won't be done in time, but it looks like both queens will be here. Up. He commits. He goes in. Oh my god, no fear. Gets 2 drones. But only 2. Only 2 to start with. So again, we have our 3 Oracles. Are we going to see a Robo follow-up? That is the question. The 3rd is thrown down. And when it comes to Ryu's play, as Link show up, but I mean we have plenty of adepts here, and it is a robo, so it looks like Shakti is setting himself up just like the previous games. There's the Forge for +1, there are the gates, we're going to be seeing +1 in Immortals and Sentries. Shakti just found his rhythm, and he's just going to stick with it. Again, I'm going to be very impressed if he pulls it off here on 2000 Atmospheres. When it comes to Ryu, like his greed and taking up as quickly as he did in the last game, I think he could probably do the same thing this game and actually get away with it. I hope he's not too frightened. I hope he's not like I hope that because of his experiences in the last game, like he's kind of lost his aggressiveness, because I know sometimes that can happen. You know, you kind of get humbled a little bit after you lose, and it's like, oh my god, like you know, instead of being hyper greedy with tech, he's just hyper safe instead, and he gets behind that way. So I'm a little bit worried that might happen. Speaking of, we have 2 Roach Warrens, and 6 drones just went down to all these. Oh god, no, he's gonna go for the queen! To these 3 oracles. The oracles are just going to town here. Unfortunately, the 2 queens were not together, and in the end, 5 more drones fall. 9 in total. Oh god. I'm getting flashbacks. Like, Ryu is taking so much damage right now, and he doesn't have a goal base to fall back on to catch back up. So he's doing something very different. We'll see if this works out. I've seen him do this before. He's going for borrowed roaches. If he wants, he can go for 2 upgrades at a time, by the way. Oh god, but the oracles, they just keep getting more damage. The queens are not where they need to be. To be fair, Ryu has been skipping out on queens as well. Oh god. So he is going for Tunneling Claw Roaches. He's going for this double upgrade timing. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. We'll see. So what this does mean that if Ryu is able to defend against the first push, he can counterattack immediately with Tunneling Claw Roaches. That's if he can defend this push though, as Ryu has lost a lot of workers, so he had to spend a lot of lava to rebuild all those drones. His army isn't where he needs it to be when it comes to the army count. He has some Roach Ravager, but not a lot. And Shakti, now that he has his War Prism, he's ready to go. And Ryu just doesn't have vision. He just doesn't have control of the tower. Finally, he does. Finally, he's gonna spot the army. Oh, Shakti actually doesn't go for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I know that the army was tagged, but like, I'll be honest, like, Shakti could have pushed in. Shakti maybe respecting Ryu's army a little bit too much. He will back off. But I don't blame him, because like, he's got like a second... Oh no! He gets spotted! I was about to say he has like a second wave, like he's working on Colossus, he has Blink. We have Tunneling Claw Roaches, but they get revealed. Oh no. And Ryu, he knows that he's not going to make it work. There are cannons in the mineral lines. There's no way. Hydroden gets thrown down. We have Hive on the way as well. What's worrisome is that like Ryu is taking up. He wants to get into lurkers again, but he spent so he burned so much money on Burrow and Tunneling Claws. Oh boy, the supplies are scarily similar. Oh god, Shakti, he's coming! He's coming with the Stalkers, the Blink Stalkers, the Immortals! They're here! Okay, nice micro. Despite the force fields, Ryu, he does keep as many of his roaches alive as possible. There's still plenty of energy there for force fields. We see the aggressive Blink forward. Shakti knows the advantage that he has. He breaks on forward. He takes out as much of the Roach Ravager as he can. And he can just keep on going from here. The base is evacuated, but Shakti doesn't have to stop. That's the thing. He can just keep on going. That's exactly what he does. Another aggressive Blink forward. He takes out all the Ravagers. There are only Roaches remaining here. And Shakti, he does it. Like, against the Zerg Lord and against Ryu, just goes for the mass Blink Stalker Colossus. GG gets called, and Shakti is going to be our Sentimiento Latino champion. Oh my god. Shakti, he struggled a little bit more earlier in the day when he was going for Glaive Adepts and everything else, but nah, mate, he just had to go for the old reliable. The Blink Stalkers, the Triple Oracle, the Colossus. Who needs Skytles? Who needs Void Rays, mate? Not Shakti. Oh, GG, well played. Congratulations to our new champion and to our final champion of the year for Sentimiento Latino. As I just let them know the score. And yeah, congratulations, Shakti. I was a little bit I didn't believe in the Shakti, not gonna lie, especially watching especially watching Pride of Altaris. I was like, mate, Ryu, it looked as if Ryu had seen what Shakti was doing against the Zerg Lord, and he's like, I've come up with my response. I know what I need to do. It was just it just looks like you have to execute it so well and so perfectly. It's like on a knife's edge. And if you mess up a little bit, then it doesn't work. And I'm referring specifically to his lurkers. If you remember in that game, like, he was amassing a decent amount of lurkers, but like early on he lost a couple, and if that hadn't happened, it would have been a completely different game. Like, it was all about positioning. It was all about positioning there on Pride of Altaris. And wow, it was so clutch. It was so clutch. And I think here on 2000 Atmospheres, especially because of how much damage he was taking from the Oracles, he felt pressured to do some counter damage. He's like, oh god, I've lost so much. I can't play my normal game. I got to do something drastic. I'm going to go for Tunneling Claw Roaches. And that's such a big investment because it isn't just 2 upgrades. It's also the second Roach Warren. Right? It's the second Roach Warren as well. There's just so much spent in that. And for that to accomplish nothing, like, that's GG. Like, as soon as that happened, I don't know if you heard the tone in my voice. As soon as we saw the revelation on those roaches, it's like, that was his comeback. That was Ryu's Hail Mary play. And the fact that failed the way it did. My heart goes out to Ryu. I hope that he has a good night. I know it's very late in Europe, and that is, of course, where Ryu lives. He lives in Italy, so good night. Good night, Ryu. GG. We're proud of you anyway. He made it to the grand finals, and that's an accomplishment in and of itself. And again, massive shout out to Shakti, because he had a well-deserved win there with this style, with this unorthodox style. I'm sure it's something that many players haven't gone up against before, outside of not just this region, but specifically Brazilian events, because, mate, no one else plays like Shakti. Well, I don't know if I would say no one else, but, like, again, current meta is in a different place for PvZ, so Shakti with a very unique style comes out on top. Very well played. And it's very impressive as well, because I was mentioning how Shakti has been casting a lot recently. He's been focusing a lot more on other things than just playing the game, and it's one of those things where casting can sometimes give you like a different perspective and give you different ideas and can help you think about the game in a different way. And I do think that Shakti, like, he was able to take advantage of that and yeah, just like come at this matchup and succeed. GG. Who needs Skytoss? So well played. And with that is the final Sentimiento Latino for 2021. OSC events are going to be going on a hiatus. We've already had the final Battle of the Americas as well. I think we've had the final Copa Hyperion. I don't know if we're going to have one next week. Let's actually find out here. GG, will there be a Copa Hyperion next week? I'll find out. But a lot of the tournaments, a lot of the weekly tournaments are wrapping up for the year, because of course we do have Christmas coming upon us. That is why I'm here in Winter Wonderland. But outside of the weekly tournaments that are ending, there are some tournaments that are on the horizon. DreamHack Last Chance. It's next week. Let me open up the calendar. Let's check it out here. Where is that calendar? Let's see. DreamHack Last Chance Korean qualifier is this Tuesday. I'm going to be casting that alongside Yaku Zaku. 9 p.m. KST. Sorry, 7 p.m. KST. So the Korean qualifiers are next week. The NA qualifiers are the week after. So DreamHack last chance. It is the last chance for players to get EPT points. So a lot of players are going to be there competing, a lot of Koreans, a lot of North Americans, a lot of Europeans. It is going to be the final big tournament before IEM. These are the qualifiers. After TSL ends, I believe that's when DreamHack Last Chance comes in. The main event, I mean. So, yeah, be sure to keep an eye on your calendars for DreamHack because we're not done for the year. On top of that, the ESL Open Cups are going to keep on going as well. We do provide English coverage for ESL Open Cup Asia. We used to do it for Americas, but we've been on a bit of a hiatus, but it will be coming back next year. I can promise you that. For as long as we can keep it up. I know the NA broadcasts are a lot longer and a lot more intense, and I need a co-caster. Usually it's Milk, but Milk has been busy with work. Darking has been busy with work. Cristiano has been busy with work as well, or with studies, I should say. So maybe I'll drag Melty on if he's free. I'll find someone. We've been taking it easy on ESL Americas so we can kind of catch up when it comes to VODs and all these other things going on. When it comes to that, stay tuned because we do have a couple of things planned, a couple of special things planned for next year. Some special unique announcements going to be coming out in the coming weeks. One of those special things is that we have some new emotes. We have, I could see some people have been having some fun with them. We have CranKy for bed, for when it's time to go to bed. And we have CranKy for, if you're in awe. And if you want to O-face, no, it's not O-face. If you want to oo-woo, I don't know the correct terminology, but it's very cute. We have some very cute emotes. Massive shout out to Shura. Shura is a graphic designer that, I say graphic designer, an artist that we've been working with recently. And we have a couple more things commissioned from him. So yeah, stay tuned to that. Exciting things for the CranKy Ducklings. Oh god, I see Angie in the chat. I'm doing this build on stream. Inspiration. No, Angie, please don't do it. Shaking my head. Oh god. Also, welcome Lord Loken to the chat. I was mentioning earlier, unfortunately, Sentimiento Latino doesn't have Matcherino this week. It's not there. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But yeah. What a tournament. What a way to end Sentimiento Latino for the year. It will be coming back next year. I can guarantee you that. I also imagine Copa Hyperion will be sticking around as well. When it comes to Battle of the Americas, I believe other things are planned. So we'll see what happens with that. I do know that Battle of the Americas unfortunately wasn't very popular amongst the American players. We always had Latin American players like Cham and Eric and Ryu and Zions and Chaos Fade and all the regulars show up for Battle of the Americas, just like Sentimiento Latino. But when it comes to the NA representation, it would always be like one or two players, like Trigger sometimes, Nina sometimes, Pure Legacy sometimes, Vindicta sometimes, Reaper sometimes. We didn't really have like a consistent player base for the NA scene, so I do know that OSC want to rework Battle of the Americas in some way. How exactly they do it, I'm not entirely sure, so we'll see what they have planned. And of course, Grand Platypus Open, we still have another week of GPO before we wrap up, so one more before we close things out. Meanwhile, yes, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to tune in to more CranKy Ducklings, check us out on the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a Discord channel, and all of our VODs are uploaded to our YouTube. We have our YouTube channel. Currently, we're uploading our DreamHack Fall VODs, so we're a little bit behind by 3 months, I believe, for our VODs, but we are slowly catching up with our VODs and getting all of our content on YouTube. So if you're interested in VODs, if you want to tune in to us when we're not live, then check us out on YouTube. It's all there and it's all beautiful. I just realized exclamation mark socials doesn't give YouTube. Shaking my head. Hold on. Exclamation mark YT? No. I should learn my own commands. I should. Exclamation mark. There we go. Oh, God. But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you want to tune into some of my solo stuff, I do stream occasionally throughout the week. Some ladder sessions, some Final Fantasy 12, or some Final Fantasy 14. So you can follow me there. Meanwhile, I currently plan to go to bed. I only got like 4 hours sleep. I did like a midnight stream last night, and I streamed for like 4 hours. That was not a good idea. that was not a good idea. I did not get a lot of sleep, unfortunately. And I need to get some food, and I need to pass out and get ready because our next broadcast is tomorrow. ESL Open Cup Asia. So be sure to tune in there. Yes. And thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone in the chat. Lord Loken, Angie, Guru, 47ness. For sure was here earlier. ARJ Skater. All the good people. All the good people. Thank you so much. And oh, before I forget, choose outcomes. Payouts for the predictions. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.